Come on, Chiefs fans! Breaking news! In the last few hours, we've received some exciting news and some shocking news. Before we tell you all the details, make sure you've already hit the like button if you believe the Chiefs will make it to the Super Bowl in 2025. If possible, comment like this: "Let's go Chiefs! Let's go to Super Bowl 60. The Chiefs made another move to bolster their secondary, signing former Steelers cornerback Darius Rush to a reserve/futures contract. This means Rush will stay in Kansas City, giving him a chance to prove himself and fight for a roster spot next season. For those who may not be too familiar with him, let's break it down. Rush was initially signed to the Chiefs practice squad in October 2024 after being released by the Steelers. Unfortunately, he never saw any game action for Kansas City last season, which means he'll still be looking for his first real opportunity to make an impact in a Chiefs uniform. Now, let's back up a bit on how he got here. Rush played college basketball at South Carolina, where he started out as a wide receiver before transitioning to defensive end in 2019. That move ended up being a great decision, as he quickly became a legitimate cornerback prospect. During his time with the Gamecocks, he recorded 74 tackles, 15 pass deflections, and 3 interceptions in 43 games. Not bad for a guy who once played offense, right? He then declared for the 2023 NFL Draft and turned heads during the Senior Bowl, boosting his stock before running an impressive 4.36-second 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine. That elite speed caught the attention of NFL scouts, and he ended up being drafted in the 5th round by the Indianapolis Colts with the number 138 overall pick. But this is where things got complicated for Rush. He didn't last long in Indianapolis and was released before the regular season even started. That's when the Chiefs first signed him, but his time in Kansas City was short-lived as he was released just a few weeks later. Then the Steelers came calling, added him to their active roster in mid-October, and gave him some playing time. Rush suited up for 3 games in Pittsburgh, making 3 tackles in limited action. He had a real opportunity to carve out a bigger role with the Steelers heading into 2024. He showed some promise in the preseason, allowing just 1 reception on 4 targets while playing 42 defensive snaps, according to Pro Football Focus. However, despite making the Steelers' initial 53-man roster and playing on special teams for the first 2 weeks, he ended up being released again. And that's how he found his way back to Kansas City. Now, with this reserve/futures contract, the Chiefs are giving him another chance to develop and compete for a starting role heading into the offseason. So what does this mean for the Chiefs' secondary? Well, it's all about depth and potential. Rush brings speed, athleticism, and some untapped potential. With Kansas City always looking for young defensive talent to step up, he'll have every chance to prove himself in camp and during the preseason. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Darius Rush has what it takes to make an impact for the Chiefs next season? Now, let's get started because this might sting a little. There's buzz around the league that the Houston Texans could be eyeing one of Kansas City's most explosive weapons in free agency. That's right, Marquise Hollywood Brown, who spent last season battling injuries, is set to hit the open market, and Houston could be a major contender to land him. Now, let's break this down. The Texans are desperate for receiver help in 2025. Tank Dell, who is a rising star in their offense, is expected to miss the entire season with a serious knee injury. On top of that, Stephon Diggs is set to hit free agency, which means Houston may need to reload its receiver core for C.J. Stroud. So where does Marquise Brown fit into all of this? Well, according to Bradley Locker of Pro Football Focus, Houston could be targeting Brown as a much-needed deep threat. He pointed out that even if the Texans can bring back Diggs, they still don't have the field-stretching speed that Dell provided. Brown, despite his injury setbacks, still brings elite speed and playmaking ability. And remember, this guy has a 1,000-yard season under his belt. He's a proven threat when healthy. But here's the tricky part for Houston: salary cap space. The Texans aren't exactly rolling in cash, so they'll need to be strategic. They could look for bargain deals, restructure contracts, or make some roster cuts to free up space. If they can do that, Brown could be an ideal fit alongside Nico Collins, giving Stroud 2 dangerous weapons on the outside. Now, from the Chiefs' perspective, losing Brown wouldn't be a total disaster, considering he wasn't a factor in 2024 due to injury. But let's not forget why Kansas City brought him in last offseason. The Chiefs' wide receiver group has struggled for consistency all year, and Brown should add that deep playability that's been missing. If he's fully healthy in 2025, letting him go to a potential AFC rival could come back to haunt Kansas City down the road. So, Chiefs fans, what do you think? Should Kansas City make a push to keep Brown, or should they let him test the market and focus on improving elsewhere? Now, let's get started because this is a story that's making waves in the NFL. Former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Kadarius Toney has been arrested in Douglasville, Georgia, on some very serious charges. According to court documents, Toney was arrested on February 6th after allegedly assaulting a woman and preventing her from calling 911. This is a shocking development for a player who was once seen as a dynamic playmaker in Kansas City. The allegations are disturbing. Reports claim that Toney apparently placed his hand around the woman's throat with enough force to restrict her breathing. The incident left red marks on her neck and even caused her eyes to bleed. That's not all. Court documents reveal that when the woman tried to call for help, Toney apparently grabbed her phone and overrode her voice commands to contact 911, effectively preventing her from contacting emergency services. The incident reportedly occurred on January 14th at a home in Douglasville, about 37 miles west of Atlanta. As a result, Toney is now facing serious legal trouble, including one count of aggravated assault and another count of obstructing or preventing a person from making an emergency call. If convicted, these cartoons could have significant consequences for his career and personal life. For Chiefs fans, this is a disappointing turn of events. Toney was a key part of Kansas City's offense when he was acquired from the Giants, and while injuries and inconsistencies have hampered him, he has had moments of brilliance. Who could forget his touchdown in Super Bowl 57? But now, with his future in the league uncertain, this situation raises a lot of questions about his next steps. So, Chiefs fans, what do you think? Should the NFL take immediate action, or should we wait for more details before passing judgment? Coming into the NFL draft, scouts doubted Worthy's size and route-running ability. At 5 feet 11 inches and 165 pounds, many questioned whether he could handle the physicality of the league. But when he ran a record-breaking 40-yard dash in 4.21 seconds, the Chiefs saw their next deep threat and traded up to get him. Worthy started his rookie season strong, but when the playoffs rolled around, he really came into his own. With Rashee Rice out, Worthy became Patrick Mahomes' go-to target. In the AFC Championship, he torched Buffalo for 85 yards and a touchdown. Then, on the biggest stage, the Super Bowl, he had a historic 157-yard, 2-touchdown performance. Many have compared him to John Ross, but Worthy is proving he's on a different path. Chiefs fans, what do you think? Has Worthy cemented himself as KC's next star? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Chiefs news.